Welcome back to the online sessions on signals and systems. So as we were talking in the last class that today we discuss about the initial value theorem and final value theorem. So as the name indicates, what is the name? It is indicating initial value theorem. That means this theorem is going to speak about giving the value of the signal at the initial at its initial values. That means with respect to time, if you take the signal, then as t tends to 0, what is the value of that particular signal? So as t tends to 0, that is what the value we normally going to give here in the initial value theorem. So therefore the initial value theorem enables us to calculate the initial value of the function x of t, that is x of t is equal to 0 means x of 0, directly from its transform x of s without the need for finding the inverse transform of the signal x of s. So if at all x of s is given to us, we can find out the value, initial value of the signal after finding out the inverse Laplace transform of the signal. So instead, without finding out inverse Laplace transform, we can easily find out the initial value by using this theorem. That's all. So just only one theorem, if you understand, simply substitute the theorem and simply directly get the value. It is very, very simple. If you understand the if you understand the time differentiation of the Laplace transforms. So time differentiation signal Laplace transforms. So here we are going, it is also going to be like a another property which is an extension to the time differentiation property. So of the Laplace transforms, right? So you can just think it as a, like, it's a extension to the time differentiation property of the Laplace transforms. So let us say if x of t is going to generate an x of s signal, then x of t for limits t tends to 0 is going to produce a signal which is going to be s into x of s for the limits s tends to infinity. So this is what the property which we can have or can be called as a theorem, because we are deducing this particular equation from the property. We can call it as a theorem. We can simply call it as a theorem. So now let us start looking into this. We know that Laplace transform x of t is going to produce x of s, and we already know from the time differentiation property of the Laplace transforms, Laplace transform d by dt of x of t is equal to what I can write. This entire thing already we considered as a signal now. So this is the entire signal. This is u. Already we have performed that previously. So similar to the previous one, once again we normally take it as a uv formula, apply the limits uv here. So once you apply limits uv here, now initial value theorem means what? T tends to infinity. T tends to infinity means what? Close from t to infinity, we are going to take the limits. Or you have to take the limits from minus infinity to t is equal to 0, or t is equal to infinity we are going to take. Because nearer to 0 to the extreme values we are going to consider as the initial value. So for example, if we are starting at t is equal to 0, now what is the initial value of x of t at t is equal to 0? What is the final value of x of t at t is equal to infinity? So therefore we are starting at t is equal to 0, and the time is getting extended towards infinity as t tends to infinity. So therefore I can take the limits as 0 to infinity. This is important. In the previous property we have taken as minus infinity to plus infinity, but here initial value theorem, therefore this limits consideration is very, very important here. If you make a mistake here by considering limits as minus infinity plus infinity, then you never get into this particular result. So therefore we have to be very cautious about using this particular theorem in the limits. Once you take care about the limits here, rest of the things will be coming automatically. Very simple. Okay, so please be sure about this. Okay, so here we will be considering the unilateral Laplace transform for initial value theorem. So limits we are going to consider in 0 to infinity. Now I can consider as UV formula, same as the previous UV formula. So I can just simply write it as something like integral of u into dv minus the whole integral of d by dt of u integral of v dt. That is the basic formula we have, just expanded by using the same formula. What we can have, just look at here now. So take the second term first. In the second term, what I have, minus s I have taken outside, minus into minus plus s into integral of x of t into e to the power minus st ds. I can write minus of, what about this, e to the power minus infinity is 0, and it's going to be t is equal to 0 when you substitute e to the power minus 0 is 1, so into x of t. So therefore it will be minus of x of 0 I'll be having. So therefore the final equation is going to be equal to s into, what is this equation? It is simply x of s for a unilateral Laplace transform signal, minus x of 0. Now what is that we want? We have the property now, limit s tends to infinity is also there. So therefore let us take the limits s tends to infinity on both sides of the above equation. So therefore I can write this as limit s tends to infinity Laplace transform of d by dt of x of t is equal to, I'm just applying the limits here to this, limit s tends to infinity. This entire equation I can write. What is the solution I got now for this? S into x of s minus x of 0 I got. So I'm applying limit s tends to infinity here. Okay. So integration, differentiation will get cancelled here. Right. What are the limits I'm normally going to apply here? Now this entire part becomes simply as s tends to infinity, e to the power minus infinity is 0. 0 into something is always 0. So therefore this component simply becomes equal to 0 is equal to limit s tends to infinity and this entire part s into capital X of s minus small x of 0. So this is the equation I can have. Then finally I can write I can take this x of 0, small x of 0 onto the LHS side. Then I can write x of 0 is equal to limit x of 0 is equal to, what I can write, limit limit this should be s tends to infinity, not t tends to infinity. Limit s tends to infinity x of s. Now this x of 0 is nothing but what now? It is nothing but x of t for the limits t tends to 0. When you apply, when you put t is equal to 0, we'll be getting this. So this is the equation we get. This should be limit s tends to infinity, not t tends to infinity. So this is what the initial value theorem, which you have to remember for solving the problems. Very simple. If you remember this theorems has to be remembered compulsorily for solving the problems. So therefore we have to remember this theorem compulsorily. So x of 0 or limit t tends to x of t is equal to s into x of s. That is the initial value theorem. Similarly, we go with the final value theorem. The final value theorem enables us to calculate the final value of the function x of t. What is the mean by final value? T tends to infinity is the final value. So that means infinity means what? Whichever we want the limit to get closed, that is called the infinity limit for us. So therefore x of infinity directly from its Laplace transform without the need for finding the inverse Laplace transform signal. So it states that if these two x of t and x of s form a Fourier Laplace transform pair, then what we can have now, limit t tends to infinity, because final value theorem no. So therefore limit t tends to infinity, x of t will be seen on the s domain as x into s of s for s tends to 0. Now see these two theorems. What is the difference between these two? X of t is equal to s into x of s. Here also x of t is equal to s into x of s. Only the limits got interchanged. Limits got simply interchanged. It is going to be on the s domain, it's going to be s tends to infinity. On the t domain, here t tends to 0. Now these simply going to get interchanged. Here t tends to infinity, s tends to 0 it becomes. That means if you remember one formula, one theorem, you can simply straight away write the another theorem. Very easy. So therefore, please remember these two basic theorems. Now coming to the derivative part of this, how do we derive the equation? We know Laplace transform x of t is equal to x of s. Now once again, we go with the differentiation of the time domain signal, differentiation of Laplace transform in time domain, I can write as equal to, now this itself is taken as a signal, so therefore I can take this as a signal. D by dt of x of t is a signal into e power minus st dt. Already we have derived d by dt of x of t dt, this is the one, x of t e power minus st dt is equal to s into x of s minus x of 0. Same thing I can write it here. Now only thing is limit here I would apply for x of s. This is nothing but x of s for us. So apply limits s tends to 0 on both the sides. So once you apply the limits here, what about this? No, this is nothing but equal to this equation. Integral of 0 to infinity d by dt of x of t to the power minus st dt, all this. Now as s tends to 0, as s tends to 0, you have to apply the limits now. So here as s tends to 0, s into x of s minus x of 0 I can write. All right. So as s tends to 0, if s is 0, it is something like e power minus 0 or e power 0, it is equal to 1. So therefore I left over with integral of 0 to infinity d by dt of x of t is equal to limit s tends to 0, and this particular difference equation I can write. Now x of t, this is nothing but x of t over the limit 0 to infinity from the simple integration rules. Then limit s tends to 0, I can write as s into x of s minus x of 0. So I can expand this as x of infinity minus x of 0 is equal to this particular part. So these two will get cancelled. X of 0 will get cancelled. I left over with x of infinity is equal to limit s tends to 0, s into x of s. What is the meaning of x of infinity? It is limit t tends to infinity, x of t signal for limits t tends to infinity is nothing but x of infinity. So equal to limit s tends to 0, s into x of s I can write. So these two are the popular theorems known as initial value theorem and the final value theorem. So please remember these formulas, practice these formulas, practice the properties so that we will be at ease while solving the problems in the examination. So let us do some 2 or 3 problems on the initial value theorem and final value theorem. Now initial value, let us suppose find the initial and final values if the following signals, if the following Laplace transform are going to exist. See, if the Laplace transform is going to exist, then only we can able to find out the values, right? So x of s is equal to s plus 4 by s square plus 3s plus 5 I can write. So what the initial value theorem is going to speak about? S of 0 is equal to limit s tends to infinity tends to infinity of s into x of s is the basic theorem we have. So what is the problem given now? I have to apply limit s tends to infinity to this. So according to the theorem, we apply limit s tends to infinity for this particular x of s. So here, what is 1 by 0? It is infinity. S should go to infinity. Means 1 by infinity is going to be what now? As s tends to s tends to infinity, t tends to 0. See here, as initial value theorem is what it's going to speak about. As s tends to infinity, t should tend to 0 here. So limit, now I'm converting this s into 1 by x. 1 by x. So if I consider this as 1 by x, this s simply turns into x now. X tends to 0. It is vice versa, no? So if x is 0, what is 1 by 0? It is infinity. That's nothing but s under consideration, s tending to infinity. So I can consider like this. So therefore, I simply replace s by 1 by x. So just simply expand it in that particular form and simply try to get the independent terms as 1 by x square plus 4 by x whole by 1 minus x 1 plus 1 by x square plus 3 by x plus 5. Now this is what the equation. Now let us try to solve the equation in terms of all these things now, where I can simply have 1 plus 3x plus 5x square, 1 plus 4x I can write. So numerator, denominator, I'll be having x square LCM. By taking LCM of x square, numerator, denominator, I'm going to x square. These two will get cancelled. Finally, I'll left over with this particular equation. That's it. Now simply substitute x is equal to 0 here. Once you substitute x is equal to 0, all these terms will get eliminated. I'll be having simply 1. So the value is normally equal to 1 as x of x naught of 0. Next, go for final value. Final value means what? X of infinity is equal to limit s tends to 0. So in this formula directly, you have to substitute s is equal to 0. 0 into something, s into s plus 4, no? What is 0 into something? That is 0. So therefore, the value of the signal at infinite time period is equal to 0 for this particular signal represented in the Laplace transforms. Let us go into the another problem. Say a problem is given as x of s is equal to s square plus 3s plus 6 by this formula. Now apply the initial value theorem. Limit t tends to 0, x of t is equal to x naught, x of 0 is equal to limit s tends to infinity, s into x of s is the formula. So what is that we can have? What is the formula? Have s into x of s. X of s is this given. So substitute x of s. Right. So just multiply s with all this equation given already. So x cube s into s cube plus 3 into s is nothing but 3s square plus 6x by s square plus 2s plus 3 we can have. So I can replace s by 1 by x same as the previous formula. So I'll be getting this particular equation. So once if I get this equation, what is the value of x of 0 I'll be having? Let us look at here now. So 1 by x is there, something like 1 by x cube, something by x square, something by x. X is 0, something by 0 is infinity. So the value is normally equal to infinity we're going to have. Okay. So next one is final value theorem. S tends to 0. Let us substitute s is equal to 0 means s into something is definitely equal to 0. So this is what using the final value theorem and all we're going to have. And another problem that we can take as something like there is a problem given to us as x of s is equal to 1 by s plus 3. So this has been calculated using the initial value, final value, and inverse Laplace transforms. And we will be getting the same results as it is. Same results we will be getting here. That's a formula given, a simple form as given just to prove that the initial value theorem is going to be correct in our context. So the inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s plus 3 we can write as equal to e power minus 3t. Remember, if it is going to be s plus 3 means e power minus 3t will get. If it is s minus 3, the previous problem we have got as s plus 3t. So that's what we have the inverse Laplace transform case. I'm just reiterating that same concept previously, whatever we have, and we are simply using it here. Okay. So you should get back to the previous classes to know this particular representation. Okay, what is this form we normally going to have? See here in the previous sessions we have just already derived this. If a signal is having a e to the power minus 2t, what I got this as 1 by s plus 2, e to the power minus 2t, what I got here as s plus 2. Reverse x of s, reverse if at all I have to go. Say x of s is given as 1 by s plus 2, I have to write it as e power minus 2t. If it is given as 1 by s plus 3, I should write it here as e to the power minus 2 3t. So that is what the same thing which we have got it here just now. So what is x of s given here as? X of s is equal to 1 by s plus 3. So therefore x of t can be written as equal to e power minus 3t. So in this, let us apply the initial value. T is equal to 0 in this x of t. If t is equal to 0, e to the power 0, I'll be having 1. If t is equal to infinity, what I'll be having now, it is going to be e power minus infinity is going to be 0. Let us apply the initial value theorem now to get into the same solutions. Using the initial value theorem, same solution should come now. So initial value x of 0 is equal to limit s tends to infinity s into x of s. S into x of s is given as 1 by s plus 3. If I take s as common, I can just simply cancel these two s's. S tends to infinity. So something by infinity is 0. Therefore, this factor gone. 1 by 1, it will be 1. So the initial value is equal to 1. What is the initial value we have got now? As 1 here also. That means by applying the initial value theorem, we are getting into the same solution. Then next is final value theorem. X of infinity is equal to limit s tends to 0, s into x of s formula. S into this given formula is given value as 1 by s plus 3. S is 0. So s is equal to 0 means 0 into something 0. So final value is equal to 0. So it is same as the final value which is 0 which we got. Okay. So like this, we can easily go into solve the expressions here. Now similar to that is going to be another formula that I can give as something like s by s plus 1 into s plus 2. S by s plus 1 into s plus 2. Now for this kind of a problem, I want to solve the inverse Laplace transform. Inverse Laplace transform is not in the syllabus, but still as it is an example to make sure the initial value theorem is really giving us the correct results, we are just doing it. All right. So by just taking the partial fractions, I can solve this. A by 1 plus a by s plus 1 plus b by s plus 2 is equal to, on the numerator I should get s, so that I'll be getting the values once you solve this. So if I write here minus 1, this is plus 2. Let us cross multiply here. If we cross multiply this, what you'll be having now? Minus s minus 2. This is going to be plus 2s plus 2. Plus 2 minus 2 will get cancelled. Plus 2s minus s becomes equal to s. So therefore, these are the limits. These are the partial fractions which we are normally going to get. Now, minus of what is 1 by s plus 1? Inside s, I have plus. Therefore, e to the power minus t, I'll be writing. 1 into t is t. Similarly, here, 2 into 1 by s plus 2 means what? E to the power minus 2t, I can write. Initial value means what? T is equal to 0, substitute. So it's going to be like, minus 1 plus 2. It will be equal to 1. What is final value? Infinity. E power minus infinity is 0. So therefore, I'll be getting 0. Let us substitute the same values here. Initial value theorem, we have what? S of x of 0 is equal to limit s tends to infinity. S into x of s. Then when I multiply these two, s square by all this factor, I'll be having s square if I take common. So s square will get cancelled. So I left over with 1 plus 3 by s plus 2 by s square, as s tends to infinity. Something by infinity is 0. So these two factors, 3 by infinity, 2 by infinity, becomes 0. So 1 by 1 is simply something like 1. So initial value we got as 1, initial value we got as 1 here. Similarly, final value, s tends to 0, 0 into something 0, so we'll be getting 0. So these are the examples which we have just discussed on the initial value and final value theorems. And last topic, one of the last topic left over is representation of poles and zeros on the Laplace transform S-plane, on the S-plane of the Laplace transform. What is the drawback of the Laplace transforms? Just like in Fourier transforms, we cannot draw the frequency spectrum in the case of the Laplace transforms. So instead of frequency spectrum, we normally can represent the poles and zeros on the S-plane. So how do we represent poles and zeros on the S-plane? We'll see once after we just discuss about the Z transforms also, because Z transforms also we are going to get the poles and zeros. So once you know these two, because these two are going to be same. So while discussing about poles and zeros of Z transforms, I'll just come back myself and just a little bit I just speak about that the poles and zeros topic of Laplace transforms and poles and zeros of the Z transforms to end up the Z transform representations. Okay, so thank you very much for the today's session. In next session, we go with the Z transforms. Thank you so much for today's class.